Hello everyone. Um I do not know how to start this, but it's been a while. I kind of figured that I should actually show everything again to what I changed, what has changed, my future plans to whatever I want to change for my grids, for all my elements, everything, that kind of shit. Yeah. So the last time I did this is technically in January. So it's been like almost 10 months since I did an update. But to be fair, it's really hard to actually get any form of change at this point. So yeah. I can assure you, like, I think the main thing that really changed was water only. The rest of them is like very minor change here and there, probably just characters change and stuff. So yeah, I think might as well just do like a roundup again, because why the fuck not, right? Because there's nothing going on right now in the event. So I think I'm just gonna go start off from like the 4 main elements and then go, yeah, so water, fire, water, wind, earth, dark, light, whatever is the arrangement. So starting off with fire, I didn't change anything, no. Actually, fire has very little change for me. Grid wise, maybe a very minor change because Atom came out, right? Fire's like standard, the standard setup that I tend to use is kind of like this, but except for this guy, I just get rid of this guy and put Medusa in there, because I prefer to use Medusa over Luffy. So yeah, I'm always using this setup. The grid has never changed. I think it's somewhat the same since 9 months ago either, because I have no RNG for fire and fire is ass anyway. The only thing I got for fire is a certain dude summon. This is the only thing I got for fire, but that's technically not really just for fire. That's more like the Otk summon rather. The rest of them, I don't think I really gotten anything new for fire. It's fire. My fire change has only just been characters, because I got Medusa. Alright, I guess I'll just show like my new fire characters, I suppose. Yeah, I got Noise, I got Anna, then the collab, then I got Yukata, Silva, and Medusa, and Izmir as well. Technically, I got this as well, but I don't really want to count that guy. But yeah, so this tree is the main one that I got that is actually very significant to an upgrade for my fire for sure. No Wilnas, unfortunately, but it's fine, whatever. Luffy can be that guy for now. But yeah, this tree is like my main upgrade. It's not really the grid at all. The grid has no change at all. I did change a little bit for my OTK, obviously, which is obviously again with the help of this too. But yeah, I did well, it's just, yeah, I got the atom weapons here. I just put the awakening for attack, and then the special cap awakening on the stick. I was actually thinking maybe I should make another stick, but I didn't really put in too much effort for the atom raid up thing, so I don't really have a lot of animas to uncap another one, even though I do have another stick ready. But yeah, so this is supposedly my OTK. I didn't really bother going too hard on it, because I don't see the point of really going for, like, you know, 0 button 1-2 chains, whatever shit, you know, those kind of shit, or like even auto based setups. I don't think I really need that at all, because with the like how easy it is to actually farm meat these days, there's really no reason for me to go that far, because we have like, I don't know, 3 whole freaking days to farm for meat. So it's yeah, we only need like 8k most of the time these days, because 8k should technically already get you more than 2 bill easily. But yeah, this is my OTK setup. I definitely tested it a moment ago. It works. Probably it would be better if I change the ship and put it plus marks and stuff, and it should work. Yeah. For fire, dude, I actually wanted to fucking go for fire primal, but yeah, fire is kind of ass, and I haven't really gotten any other weapons to really make fire primal workable for my side. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I was actually considering to just do like a single stone for this, so it'll kind of help a little bit better, but I'll consider it. I'll probably consider it when Fire Favor Guild War comes or something. Yeah, but for now, I don't think I'm really going to change my fire at all, because Guild War is probably going to be next year. Fire Favor Guild War should be next year already, because we only have, I think, only one more Guild War left for this year. I don't think we'll get another one in December, because the next one is in November and has been favored. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. And then I did actually get the Mugen thing. I think you kind of saw it a little bit. Yeah, I can make one Mugen sword, but Mugen sword sucks, so yeah. But yeah, let's move on to water. Water is basically the one that I did like a major revamp, obviously. I already did kind of show my OTK, which is kind of like this with diaspora, blah blah blah. I think I kind of shared this in the handbook, the handbook guide thing, the reaction video thing. So yeah, something like this, but yeah, it's fine. I did use something like this. It's defense now, but it should still work anyway. Doesn't really matter. This thing helps a lot. So yeah, that's my OTK, and then my my standard full auto stuff for like a lot of shit. I always use this. I always use this Kango setup with this Sid characters. Yeah. Then I did get this 2 axes from a certain fucking banner. Yeah. I ended up borrowing this as well. Yeah, kind of pointless, but yeah, it's fine, I guess. I actually borrowed this for Nightmare 200. Turns out I actually didn't need it, so that's fun. But yeah, I'll just use it for now, I suppose, in this setup, because previously I was using like Dark Thrasher or some shit, which is even worse than this. So there's really no point for me to actually slot that in there. So I'll just stick with this, and yeah, it does fine. So this is kind of like my auto burst, whatever setup thing you want to call it. You know, like I use this for basically everything, like Atom, the Shiva thing, like basically like all the usual standard stuff that you use for full auto. Yeah, and the burst one, I did not really set up a burst because I'm just too lazy to do a burst setup for water, because I don't really like burst setup for water, and plus I do not have Clarice, I do not have Gwyn, I do not have like the OP meta changing burst for water, so I didn't really bother with that shit. I do not have a third axe either, so that's another problem. But yeah. So the major change was definitely this one, because I would say since my last update I got this too, and then yeah, I did bar that as well, so that's kind of like the massive change. And then obviously other than that, I got Whamdoos as well, I suppose, but I don't really use Whamdoos for the most part, because you know, I don't really do like Atum that much anyway, and plus like I usually use this setup for Atum anyway, because I always manual. I don't really like how do I say, full auto with my water, because you know, if I want to do Atum stuff, and then if I'm using this, technically it's slightly better if I actually manual. You know, I don't really have to. Yeah, technically speaking, I don't really have to, just that yeah, because this team is so fucking strong anyway. But yeah, I don't really have to, but I do it anyway, because to make it go faster. Yeah, same thing. I don't think I really made too much of a change for my summons. It's just mostly the grid. The characters kind of... Yeah, I guess the characters is kind of the same in a way. But yeah. So this is like my everyday grid. The backline is whatever, you can just ignore it. And then my OTK is the one that I showed you a moment ago. Yeah, this one. Okay, so this is like my water change. Moving on with my water, I don't think I'm really going to change my water too much anymore. The only thing is really going to change is having another extra Whamdoos Axe. I think that's pretty much about it. Other than that, if I can get another extra Lancelot dagger, that would be cool. But other than that, nah. No changes for water anymore, because this is one of my biggest upgrade of the year. Alright, so moving on to wind, I guess. So wind is probably one of the bigger change, because not really a bigger change than water for sure, but like, because I probably might need to do some changes for Guild War anyway. So this is kind of like my OTK setup. Yeah, I'm just using this, whatever. It works. I think I kind of showed it before as well. It works. I think this is overkill. I don't think I need to go this far. I can probably go for like an auto setup or whatever too, but like I said a moment ago, I don't think I need to do that. There's really no reason for me to do that. I could probably still get... I'm probably just aiming for like 8k meat from now on anyway, because previously I've been farming like 10k. It feels like pointless because last Guild War I only did like... I have like almost 2k meat left, which is more or less like 8k. I already burned like basically slightly more than 8k. So... and I got like 2 billion plus anyway, so it's not really that needed to go too hard to get 10k every time. And that took me like 4.5 hours, and that's me like fucking around as well. So if I actually do it like normally and somewhat properly, I could probably finish it in like 4 hours or less. And also that basically depends on how good my RNG is for the golden boy anyway. So yeah, so this is just my what's that, OTK setup. This one is the Apple key. This is not the Freya key. This is the Apple key. You know, if anyone's wondering, yeah, that's the Apple key. Oh yeah, I guess I should actually... I forgot to mention that in the previous ones as well, right? But I think it's the same, right? That this one is all the key is I'm using Glory. I think you guys can actually see it. Yeah, my OTK I think for the rest is... This one is Freya key, I think. Oh, I actually used that. Never mind. I used stamina. It's fine. I think my fire is Freya key. Yeah, this is a Freya key because that's 30% lesser HP. Yeah. So my fire has a Freya key. So that's my... This is my win with the Apple key. Yeah, this is the one with the Apple key, and it works just fine. Standard win setup, I think I use like mostly somewhat the same characters. Maybe I swap around a little bit. Like this one I tend to use for like other standard raids. I use this kind of setup. The grid is probably similar anyway, with 1 spoon and shit. Yeah, technically I could use the raw axe, but I decided to... I just kept with this because this one gives me extra echo, or what, I've forgotten what the fuck is the third skill already. I think it was echo or something on the third hit. On the third triple attack kind of thing. So yeah, I was using that. Fuck it. It works. Then for Banu, I usually use this. Yeah, Banu, I usually use this. It works just fine, but yeah, like I said, I don't really auto for all this stuff because usually I want to get through my daily quick so I can do like my other stuff. Yeah, it's just to speed shit up. So yeah, this is the setup that I use for Banu and maybe some other stuff as well, but I usually just use this for Banu because I don't really use Mumu besides like, unless I really need to go for like full Ogi and stuff, which is kind of needed for Banu in a way. So I just use Mumu, and since I already have CAT 140, might as well use his ass, right? Plus I'm planning to get him to 150 as well, so might as well. Fuck it, right? Might as well. I already upgraded him, so allowing him to nuke and Banu for his whatever trigger thing makes it a lot easier, so yeah, why not, right? Yeah, everything is pretty straightforward. Stamina, skill cap, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, and then for my burst, I think is still the same. I don't think I really changed a lot. I'm still using somewhat like this. Yeah, I'm still using somewhat like this of a grid. Simple, not the greatest. Then I just use double Tiamat and it still works fine anyway. I probably have to switch a bit later on. Yeah, I probably have to switch a little bit, but I'll probably, I still have plans to like do a little bit of tweaking for my burst, because since I have the characters, I'm probably gonna do it anyway. Like try to set up like a burst for Nightmare 95, which I should be able to, because Win is dumb. Yeah, because of this character, lol. But yeah, for now I think I don't really want to touch this yet. Yeah, I don't really want to touch this yet. The changes that I'm probably trying to do for Win at the moment is that I just recently gotten my fucking third spoon. So I recently gotten my third spoon done, because you know I haven't gotten a third spoon yet until today, and usually you want to have a third one if the run is really hard, and well, there's Nightmare 200 coming, right? So I do want to get my third one, so I did that Mesh Green Mirror a while ago, and then I was actually wondering if I should farm a fourth one, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. Doesn't feel like I really need to do that, because I'm not sure if you realize the stuff at the bottom of the screen, I am actually trying to do that as well. So my other plan was to, instead of getting a fourth spoon, I was trying to get Caecilia's weapon. Yeah, I was actually considering to get Caecilia's weapon. I am actually kind of close to it, because yeah, I don't really plan to do the domain for Caecilia. I just want to get the weapon. So getting the weapon is pretty close. I'm like 3 Edians away and lots of Veritas left, which is 104. Yeah, I need 104 more Veritas to go for Caecilia's weapon. So once that's over, I get his weapon, and I'm just gonna slot that in there instead of Astral or some other thing, and should be good. Yeah, because for anyone who doesn't know, his weapon actually provides 30% wind damage earth damage reduction. So it's kind of like draconic, but you can stack with Opus basically. The only downside about this weapon is that you have you're eating 5% dot damage every turn, if I recall correctly. But I feel like you can kind of negate it if you slot in Wind Potato. Yeah, oops. If you slot in Wind Potato, you probably don't need to do that. Yeah, if you have Wind Potato in the front line, especially in Guild War, he should be healing you every single turn and dispelling every single turn. That's why it's gonna be probably really nice for Guild War. Yeah, so you can dispel and heal every turn. So the only thing you probably want to get for Nightmare 200, right? Maybe is either maybe if we need an extra dispel or some sort of veil or some sort, because I don't really need dispel cancel because there's a character called Neo 150. And yeah, with Neo 150, you're permanently dispel cancelled. You're immune to dispel because she has the moment you just slot her in there, she gives you dispel cancel and was it 5% damage cap to everyone? I don't remember how much it was the damage cap. Yeah, you just get that by slotting her in. That's why Neo 150 is insane. Yeah, so that's more or less the win preparations I'm actually doing. The other one that I probably might do is stoning Summer JK, because I do have that, but I didn't really want to do that before because it's gonna cost me 3 stones. Because I only have 1 of her. Yeah, this one. Because a lot of people still use this until today for the wind burst. So I was considering maybe I should actually stone her, just so I can burst a lot better. Yeah. Because previously I'm only using Freyr, like the Freyr summon. Because if I go back to my burst setup, you can probably see again I was actually using Freyr in there. Yeah, I put that as a quick summon as well. So yeah, I'm using Freyr as my supposedly burst. It kind of works, but I don't think it's as good as Summer JK though. Yeah, So that's why like I'm probably considering it to stone it. So I think that's kind of like the stuff that I'm doing for my win favorite Guild War. So just really the Catsila's weapon, the third spoon, and maybe stoning Summer JK. I'll probably have to consider that later in a month or so. Yeah, we'll see. The character wise, I don't think I have any problems for characters, because I did Annie takes this guy just so I can get extra garrison or whatever, you know. Extra defense is always gonna be nice, especially in Nightmare 200. We probably might need that shit. And not to mention, I am Magna as well, so I do not have any form of garrison or defense, so that might actually hurt me a lot. But we will see. But anyway, that's my win. For Earth, I don't think I really changed a lot since the stuff that I posted for the previous Guild War. So this is kind of like the same thing as I did for last Guild War as well. It's the same thing. I didn't really change it. So very little change for my Guild War setup. I mean my Earth setup since Guild War. Everything is the same. I still have my glorification key here, whatever. And then I still have this. I just left it in there. Yeah, I didn't really bother changing for damage even. And then Gandalf is still hard carrying me with Monica and stuff. That's kind of like my standard auto stuff. And then for like the burst setup, I'm just using Tiger, Ilnot, and Naru wrestler thing. Still kind of works. Yeah, still works. Yep. And plus I have this, it kind of helps as well. I think that's the only thing I actually did. I just stoned this when Diaspora came out. Oh yeah, I actually forgot to share my Mugen setup and for my water. Okay, since we're in Earth, right, might as well just also share it a little bit. But before that, I think my OTK is still the same though. My OTK is kind of like the same for Earth. I just use this too with Lyria because I don't know. I don't think I slot Lyria anywhere else other than Earth, because why not, right? Just slot her in Earth, and it's so strong because Octo and shit. But yeah, that's my OTK setup. I don't think I really changed a lot. Yeah, this is a Freya key. This is kind of pointless, but still works though. Yeah, this one I'm using it for my burst. That's why, because I think if I go to my burst, I was actually using the Magna. Yeah, see, I'm using my Magna Opus. But yeah, because previously I was using like some shit else. That's why like it's the same now. Technically, you shouldn't follow what I'm doing right now. I was actually using some other shit. That's why. But yeah, you probably should change like skill cap or some other thing. I don't know. But yeah, this one I was supposed to change it, but I'm too lazy to change. Yeah, so this is kind of like the Earth OTK setup that I have previously, and it still works. Yeah. So, and then for Diaspora, I know it's dead as fuck right now, but hey, wait. So Diaspora, obviously there's two setups, right? For the host, I use this this character setup. I think I kind of did I even share this before? I don't remember, but yeah, it's kind of like the same in a way as the Kango setup I had earlier with Gandalf and Monica as well. But yeah, but it's kind of like the same, but it's only you have these two extra here, and then I have extra Alex dagger here for the HP and stuff. And then for the summons is somewhat like this, because Mandrake is kind of mandatory for it in a way. Then again, for Kango, it's not really mandatory, to be fair. Yeah, so the characters is the one that is really hard carrying me. So this is for the host related stuff. And then if I were to farm that thing by joining, I'll be using this. Technically I can switch this to someone else, but because I wanted to use Tico, but since Tico is Earth, right, she doesn't die immediately. I just stuck with Acer. Yeah, sadly I do not have light version of Tico or any other pot provider. Extra pot provider, I do not have them, sadly. So yeah, I just stuck with Acer, and I use Chicken and Saurus. I'm using this setup because, yeah, why not, I suppose. Yeah, mostly the same. Mostly the same. This one is supposed to like, one of this was supposed to be skill cap, but yeah, I didn't really change it yet. So yeah, you just have to keep that in mind. I was supposed to change this for this particular Robin Hood setup as well, because this thing really doesn't do anything. It really doesn't do anything, but I didn't really want to burn too many keys, so I just stuck with that, and I still did relatively fine, so whatever, I guess. Summons is somewhat similar, but instead I have one Kirin here instead, and then Mandrake is definitely mandatory here because of the debuff bullshit. Yeah, so I still can do relatively fine with this setup, and I wouldn't say it's the fastest either, but yeah, it's okay. It's fine. It does the job. Yeah, I did manage to I did grab this as well, so might as well make use of this, right? Why waste 100 gold moon and not make use of that, right? Okay, so this is the one I forgot to share earlier from my water. I wanted to make like a timestamp thingy for YouTube, but it doesn't look like it's happening anymore since I'm like jumbling up here and there. So for my water Mugen, I was using... Where the hell did I... Where the fuck did I put it? Yeah, this one. Yeah. This is my the Mugen setup. So like I said earlier for my Diaspora setup, right? Because my Tico is Earth, I can't let her die immediately. But because for Mugen, it should be fine. Because, you know, different elements. So I let her die in the beginning. Swap in with Potato. I'm using the Kango Wamdu setup to actually just rotate Ogi non-stop and Fatal Chain kind of thing. Abuse Wamdu's OPness. Yep. So yeah, this is the one that I'm using. The grid is more or less like this. I stuck with Dark Treasure just because I wanted more HP and just so I can tank if I'm relatively low HP, because there's a lot of let's just say that I've done quite a few Mugens, right? I've done quite a few Mugens, but I know for a fact that there is a lot of occasion where I forget to heal. So, because I forget to heal, those two Dark Treasures actually comes in handy. Because if I don't heal, I know for a fact at least either Doggo or Potato is going to be in like 50% or less HP. Usually it's these two that has low HP. And because they are low HP, Garrison is in effect. So in other words, they'll take no damage. Because technically speaking, right, you should by right take no damage even at full HP. But because I'm only using 2 Wamdu's axes, I do take a bit of damage. Just a tiny bit. And this is with like 0 stacks for Mugen and shit, right? But because I'm using Dark Treasures, my damage, I wouldn't say is the bad. I don't think it's that bad. Because it does look like whenever I did with pubs, I tend to MVP quite often. So, yeah, I guess it's fine, right? Maybe, or like some of the really, really fast ones, I probably won't really get MVP. But then again, who gives a shit about MVP? You usually just aim for 4 mil and you're out, right? Usually. But yeah. So, in most cases, right, the Dark Treasures kind of help in a way because, like, there's a lot of stupid pubs where they just leave the damn stacks up because there's some stupid Vikings players that decided to go 2 million plus in the first phase because I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. I don't know what are they trying to prove or whatever, because those darn assholes always ruin the runs for me. So those guys always do that kind of shit. We see like I don't know, 7 stacks or something at the end of, in the beginning of phase 2. So we have like so many stacks. I'm gonna probably take damage, but because I have Dark Treasures, at the moment I feel like the moment I hit like below 50% HP, right, I'll probably just take like almost no damage at all. Because usually, right, if there are some stacks, I'm still cycling the whole Wamdu strat, right? I'm cycling that thing, even at full HP, right, I'll stick a bin amount of damage every time I am like negating the damage. You know, with Wemda's Ogi and my Fatal Chain shit. I still take a little bit of damage. It's still not that bad. I can still go like really, really hard and like push for like, I don't know how many turns in some cases, where I think there's one time I actually did with Najik, only 2 of us, and I did like 14 million. Oh god, I still remember, dude, that raid was so fucking painful, man, because there's no one joining. It's only me and one of my crewmate, Najik, was doing it. I did 14 million, he did 8 to 10 million, I think. It was... One other guy came in and killed himself. It was fucking stupid. So it was like super painful. And like, yeah. It actually just, you know, in that case, right, having Dark Thrashers actually help. I know you don't really have to do that, but I'm just sticking with this because it's helpful for me, especially in like all these stupid pubs. It's like, for me, as long as it works, it's decent, it helps for a lot of scenarios, fuck it, right? It's good. And plus, yeah, Mugen sucks anyway, nobody cares about that raid anymore, so yeah. But yeah, that's my Mugen stuff. Okay. The summons for Mugen, I don't think is really that big of a deal. This is the same one that I'm using. I'm using Kaguya. Kirin is like my super emergency one, which a lot of times I only use it for 25% because a lot of times it's too fast from like 50% to 25% when he jumps up, whatever. It's too fast, so usually I'll just Kirin the 25%. A lot of times I don't really use Kaguya, I don't really use Typhoon or Gabriel. But then again, Gabriel is just there because damage cap and shit, right? So when it comes to like Kaguya and Typhoon, I don't really use that all too much. Just that I only use that whenever like I have problems trying to cycle the chain and stuff, right? Like I do not have enough meter here and there, so then I use this two, either one of these two, and on that specific turn to actually allow my characters to actually Ogi better, you know, because this, I do have my Kaguya full limit break, and full limit break Kaguya does give meter, as you can see here. Yeah, it actually does give meter, and it gives you like extra CA specs and stuff, so like sure, that's nice and all, but it's mostly just the meter that actually helps a lot. So yeah, that's the one that I'm using, and it's all good. Yeah, so that's my Mugen setup. Okay, next, because I've been here for way too long. Next one is I think I'll go with light. So for light, I think my light change is not really that different. OTK is still more or less the same. Yeah, OTK is still the same. I am actually using this because I'm too lazy to switch, because I'm using this Opus. My Win Primal Opus is the one using the Apple key, and I just slot it in there and it works. My OTK works just fine for light, so cool. I decided to slot this guy in too, but I don't think it is really needed. But yeah, so light OTK is like this, is kind of like the same. Full auto, I tend to use this Kango setup, which is kind of similar as the my light favorite Guild War as well. At that time I was kind of using like this set of characters as well. Here's one Harmonia and this Toon thing, because you know I'm nuking a lot, right? So it kind of helps. Still haven't gotten my second Harmonia yet, so will be nice if I can get a second one. Yeah, summons is kind of like standard. This one gives me HP, so I'm sticking with that. Yeah, stamina, skill cap, blah blah blah, same shit, doesn't matter. Yeah, and then the burst setup, I'm still working on it. I might actually get the upgrade of this soon, because I do not have a second one. I've been meaning to swap this stupid chef sword out, right? I've been meaning to swap that shit out for the Stars weapon, because Stars weapon actually kind of helps a little bit. It gives me more damage for my Proto Burst or whatever. So I just need a little bit more Edians to actually get that right now. So probably you might actually see me have that soon. I'm not sure when am I getting that. I'm probably working on it soon, because I'm working on the Wind Evoker weapon for Quetzalcoatl, right? I'm working on it now, and because I also need lasters, right? So in order for me to host that thing a lot, because if you want to know, I guess I can show it right now. I do have a lot of hosts right now. I just started working on it recently. Yeah, it's almost 200 now. It wasn't really that high before. It was like, I don't know, 15 or something. It started like 15 or between 10 to 15, I think. Now I'm like 190. I've been doing this thing for a while now. And because, see, I need to do a lot of these for lasters, right? So I need to get these. And that requires me to do like the light stuff, right? So maybe I can get more Edians that way. So I think by the time I'm done with all this stuff that I'm planning to do for Guild War, I should have my Stars weapon as well. So that would be nice. Yeah. The rest of it is quite straightforward, I guess. This is the Echo double strike shit. Auto key, skill cap key. This one is the amplify thing, seraphic, blah blah blah. Same shit. Yeah, just want to change this to another one. And then I don't think I'll be using. Oh yeah, then the other thing I changed was obviously I guess I kind of luck shit Luo in the previous Spark or whatever. I already stoned his ass. Yeah, I already stoned his ass, so now it's maxed out. And then I am probably swapping Hades with what is that summon called again? I need to swap something with. Oh yeah, I need to use star, right? Yeah, if I'm using the star weapon, I need to use the star summon. I usually use this, but because if I'm getting the star weapon, I need to use this instead. So it's not so bad, I guess. More damage there, I suppose, and hopefully I don't die, because this team just kind of die relatively quick. But yeah, this is kind of like the proto burst that I'm using. It works. Not the greatest, but it works. Yeah, I think that's pretty much about it for my light. Yeah, and then for dark, pretty much straightforward as well. This is the Rune Slayer setup that I'm using, which is I think everyone's using right now for like the longest time now. I'm using 2 PNS. I'm using this too because I do not have fucking what's that? I do not have Shalom axes, so I'm just making do with Fallen Swords. It works. Yes, it works. Agonize, blah blah blah, double strike, skill cap, auto cap, sure. So this is basically perfect for my Rune Slayer shit. And yeah. So the other thing I probably might actually consider is to stone this as well. So I can actually just use this instead of killing her off, right? So I just need to get that, and then I should be able to do damage just fine. Yeah. That's pretty much about it, really. So same thing, yeah. So I don't think I have really much else to say about this burst setup. Excuse me. And then for my standard full auto whatever crap, I usually use this because I use double. I did bar this for the last Dark Favorite Guild War because I don't know. So I barred that. Don't think I'm really making use of this at all, so I was thinking like, yeah, just use it for my normal full auto stuff because I'm always using double Hades. So this is only stronger if you have double Hades instead of Agonize. If you're not using that, just use Agonize. If you're not double Hades, just use Agonize. It's fine. So yeah, this works. Blah blah blah. Same thing. This one is yeah, I think this progression or something. I don't really remember what the fuck I put on that. Yeah, I think that's progression. I don't really recall what the fuck I put on that, but it should be progression. So this is the standard one that I use. I think shiny I use different setup. Yeah, this is the usual solo shiny that I tend to use. Yeah, I use something like this. It's not really that great, but gets the job done, I suppose. Because you know, shiny nobody really joins anymore. So this is the one that I usually solo shiny with. And because you know, I have this as well, so because he's a null element, this works. Right? Yeah, so this too is just more like for, I usually use this too just for the extra bursts at the end or whatever, because the only person that is really surviving from Skyfall is Leech and Sinks anyway, and I can't really like survive that. So a lot of time I tend to burst with Typhoon and shit, and it works. There's better ones, but I'm so comfortable with this, so I'm just sticking with this. It's fine. Yeah, I am good with this. Yes. Other than that, I think that's really about it. I tend to use a different setup for yeah. Where was it? I think this one. Yeah, I tend to use this setup for like the proto full auto thingy. I don't think you really need to use Lumberjack for this. You can probably just Kango it just fine either way, but I didn't really want to change it too much, so I didn't really bother. I just left it as it is. I didn't really change team. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, I think. I don't think I really use a lot of I don't really do a lot of Balian and stuff, but I think if I'm doing Balian and shit, I'm always using this team, if I recall correctly. Yeah, like Belial stuff to Babu, I guess. Yeah, Babu, Belial, or Fa as well. I usually just use this and call it a day, kind of thing. I mean, it works. It does the job just fine and shit. So yeah, I usually just use this for that. But then for OTK, I usually use this, which is the exact same one. I think is from like the last video as well. The last video in January, I think I kind of shared this as well, if I recall correctly. Which is just the help of Tabina, Summer Tabina and 650. It still works. I use this basically for like all my event stuff as well too. Like all the event boxing stuff, I always use this and it works. Yeah, it definitely works. And then I just add this guy now since I have that guy. So yeah, it just works. Like all the event stuff, I always just use this to OTK. Like the boxing events especially, I always use this team. I don't really follow like the on elements stuff. I just use this team and it still works regardless. I don't even need to change anything. I still have like my Seraphic because, you know, this thing is in there, but I don't know who fucking cares, I guess. Because Dark is stupid as shit. But yeah, so I'm just using this for my OTK, for my Dark and all boxing events. Mostly, like, I would say 90% of my boxing events, I always use this. Sometimes I maybe change element, but most of the time it's always this team. Most of the time it's just this team. But yeah, yeah, I think that's it, right? So I'm not sure what else do I want to add in terms of like what I'm planning to do. I do want to get into Primal for Fire. I was actually thinking of doing it for Wind as well. I feel like Wind, I could probably do it, but the problem is that if I actually do that, I feel like my Wind Primal is like the very old school Wind Primal. So I don't think I want to do that. It's too old school, so I don't really want to do that. That's why. Because it's the Rose Queen daggers. I have the Lucia's weapon. I don't remember how many Grimnir spears I have. I think I only have one. Or was it two? To be honest, I don't remember. Probably just one. And I only have one Naru sword as well, so I don't really have a lot of that. I do have two Vayne weapons though. I do not have Show's weapon. Yeah, I do not have Show's weapon, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, so that's the problem. So I was thinking like, you know what, I'll just stick with Magna for Wind. For Fire, I'm missing a lot of shit. I do not have Kubira's weapon. I do not have Wilna's. I do not have his weapon either. I do not have Reinhardt's weapon. I do not have a lot of things. So yeah, Fire Primal is dead. Unless they decided to allow us to change it like what they did with Water, then if that happens, then I probably will go with that instead. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I'm really gonna go for Fire Primal anytime soon. I'll just wait for the big change for Fire and then I'll go with that. Because I really want to go for fucking Primal for Fire. Because Fire Magna is just fucking dog shit, dude. I've been stuck with that shit for so long and it's really starting to piss me off. But the game doesn't want to give me fire-related things, so oh well. No Wilnas and stuff. Oh well. Alright, I think that's it. That's the, I guess the big update I have for like after 9 months. Yeah, after 9 months. So it's not really that big of a difference, is it? But yeah, this is usually how it looks like when you're like super endgame anyway. There's very, very minimal changes because it's really dependent on your gacha RNG already. If it's like, you know, in the beginning, right, I can farm for like my Magna shit, I can change the here and there, there's so much farming I can do, blah blah blah. Yeah, then I feel like my loadout would change a lot more often at that time. But because, yeah, it's like stagnant and there's really not much I can do right now. Fuck, right? Oh well. That's it, man. Yeah, that's my vlog for GBF. That's my vlog for GBF after 8 months. Or 9 months, sorry. My changes after 9 months. Not that different, but I think I kind of figured I should share anyway because Guild Wars is coming soon, technically. But yeah, I'll probably update again for my win stuff later, but I'll only do that when I actually really do anything, like any significant of a change for win. But till then, this is what I have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys whenever I decide to put a new video again. Okay, bye.